And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, oh boy, without further ado. I'm nervous, guys. I'm real nervous right now. I'm not going to lie.
We have the nervous giggles.
Oh, yeah. Good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. As long as it's not just me. So, when we last left our heroes, standing in front of the council members of the city of gold known as Tabathi, a verdict was reached by their great leader, Rhea. The party, after bringing in an entity to the strange lands, having battled in this music is a little loud. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm ready. Having battled inside of the Cathedral of Gibble himself, causing some of the clergies to be killed in the process. They stood trial for their demeanors, punishable by death. However, given their stature as the mortal champions, the verdict was found to be guilty, but not of death. This time, banishment. As the council left the chambers, they were left with Rhea, Eli's parents, Bruno and Dolly, and the party themselves. They spoke for a while, learning that Rhea was going to continue to assist them, although be it in the shadows, due to political ties. However, it was there and then that Bruno and Dolly decided they would be leaving the city proper, along with Eli and his young sister. As they were forced into the teleportation circle, they were thrown apart in different directions as they passed through the wormhole-like space, as technicolored dream colors seemed to fly by them. As they reappeared in different areas, a few faced hardships, Elara almost being run over by some type of convoy, Ollie being thrown into a conveyor belt with rocks. However, this wasn't enough to stop our heroes. They were all able to make it out quite easily. However, as they all converged within the control room, they faced the foreman once more. The foreman shocked in wonder as they had finally returned from the City of Gold after defeating the Grisalt, a vicious guardian that guarded the city gates. It was there Ollie said a little bit too much. And while the party conversed, trying to find a way to backpedal a little bit, to stop the Presage family from entering into the City of Gold, to steal the Durelium, Talbot finally returned with a glass of water. The foreman engaged with the rest of the party. They tried to convince him not to move forward. And they were doing well. However, it was all dashed as Shade gripped the man from the back, easily snapping his neck. In a room full of Warforged, the party commenced in a battle. Not only were they shocked by what had been done, Pavo himself stood in defiance towards Shade. The battle commenced with a few party members going down. And with their health depleted, their spell slots far from few, Elara was able to cast one last arcane gate, opening it up and allowing our heroes to escape to a place unknown. And so, our story continues. Elara and Shade.
No.
As you pass through the portal, you find yourselves squinting as the sun bears down on you, feeling the heat immediately take over your shoulders. Looking around, you see a look of shock on every single one of your party members' faces. As Lucy screams out, "Don't move!" As you look around, you find yourself in the middle of the spell field. Towers of the circling eyes, watching carefully for any kind of movement.
Guys, it's like Squid Game. Out of game.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Red
Do
light.
you think this recognize me?
I don't know, Ollie. I don't want to find out. Hey.
I mean, I was pretty confident coming here because I looked the same as when I left my father, but now even my dad wouldn't recognize me.
Can you change back?
Well, I'm currently in my gold Warforged form, so I look similar but golden.
No, so you still look different.
What was that thing that we did that one time with the dynamites where we cast something over something and then there was no sound or something in or out? What was that all about? I
Oh
forget
yeah,
who did it.
I have that.
Would that work here?
That would be fantastic, but I don't have it prepared.
Okay.
And I would need to move. I think I could cast it as a ritual, but I would need to move for 10 whole minutes. I don't want to die.
We don't have that kind of time.
Okay.
DM, do we see those Warforged guards, the large ones, outside the cave?
From where you're standing, the gate is roughly 200 to 300 yards away.
100 yards.
I think I might be able to get away with the daggers because I would just throw them.
But throwing would cause you to move.
I would be gone
Very
by
true.
the time.
Would you?
I think so.
Then what about the rest of us?
I know. What are we gonna do?
What about your
That's great
sister?
for you.
I don't think we have a lot of time.
Are we all there
An alarm's gonna go
in the
off.
same spot?
Yeah, because we all came out the portal. Well, technically Shade's holding me. Don't move, Shade.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
He just
shade.
starts running with you.
You're kind of heavy now.
Don't
Stop it,
give me
Shade.
that bullshit.
Well, Shade can move because he's got his whole shadow shade
He's
thing.
holding Alara.
Yeah, no, please don't move. Let's not
Yeah,
risk it.
she wouldn't come with me if I move with my shadow. She would stay here. So I'm not sure it's a good idea.
I'll give this a shot. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion to make a louder version of my voice. Say, guards, a little help here.
They're gonna come here.
They don't know that we did all that stuff yet.
Can you not use that on
Okay,
me
okay,
to make me
okay.
look like me?
I could use something else if I had the spell slot for it, but I don't.
Do the guards here?
As you turn to look towards the gates, they don't look like they're moving at all, simply surveying the area.
Damn.
So,
Do we?
All right.
want-
is there
That doesn't
is there
work.
any cover anywhere?
You are close to a small pile of boulders that sit directly next to you. Around you, you can see a small tree that seems to be withering and dying in the heat. Aside from that, there's a few other rock formations around you. However, you seem to be dead set in the middle of 2 rows of these spell towers.
We don't know if we're fast enough to get to cover.
Okay. I will try to create one of my echo away from me and make it run opposite of us to see if the towers pick it up.
Good call.
As the echo appears, roughly, what's the range on that?
I think it's 15. Check. 15 feet.
50? 50?
1-5.
1-5. Pushing it just a little bit south to where you are, away from where the rest of the group is, the smoky, shady echo of shade appears directly in the center of the desert area. As it does, a slight movement, and the spell towers are immediately over top of it. In a flash of light, your echo is just completely evaporated.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that
another
doesn't work.
activated.
As the spell tower goes off, a moment passes before a loud horn is heard coming from the mines. The gates begin to open up wider than you've seen them before, and as they do, you see 3 massive hulking constructs, heavily plated in bronze. The constructs' arms have one attached to it that look like a giant scythe. The other seems like a boulder that's been fashioned to the head of a warhammer. As they hinge around, they immediately start to move towards you. By your best
All right.
estimates, you might have 5 to 10 minutes before they come in range.
Hold on, they will have to
Okay.
deactivate the towers before they get to us.
We don't know that to be
I don't know.
certain.
Well, you want
Well, if they knew not to attack me, they probably know not to attack
Well,
anyone. from
maybe
the
they're
mines.
just designed not to attack Warforged.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I have a crapshoot idea, but if anyone has anything else, it's probably better.
What's
Could
your
you decide not to
idea?
attack
What's your
what we're
idea?
working on
Say
right
your
now?
idea first. What's your idea?
See those boulders over there? I could make them
Yeah.
come to life and start rolling towards them, and hopefully, maybe the spell effect will hit them in as collateral damage.
I mean,
That's about all I
Okay.
got.
It's not bad.
Okay.
have we ever seen them shoot more than one beam at a time?
We haven't seen them shoot
I
at all.
don't know.
I don't think outside
This
of
is
just now.
not. This is not. Okay. Listen. I'm
As
gonna.
they begin to get closer, you watch as they seem to pass by the first row of the spell towers. As they do, you watch as the eyes begin to shut down and rest back on top of the towers.
But that's
Okay,
where
just
they are.
that
That's
row.
not where we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Well, you can test your rock theory now.
Wait a second.
Okay, it's just I'm screwed after this. If I so,
Okay.
Alright.
Well, we're just booking
Uh,
it anyway, so.
I'm
No.
using 7 sorcery.
Wait.
points.
Don't. I have an
No.
idea. I have an idea.
We'll make
Okay.
it quick.
The giant
We're running out of time.
Warforged
Okay.
are getting closer to the 150-foot mark, or 150
Elara,
yard mark.
Elara,
Okay. Alara's gonna look at Lucy, and she's gonna say,
Mhm.
"I'm sorry."
100 yards.
And then she's going to cast fuck, I don't want to say it wrong, I'm so nervous. She's gonna cast Sending, but she's gonna use her last 5th level spell slot to cast it with that.
You're casting Sending?
Wait, is it Sending?
Who are you
The
calling
one-
now?
who are you
Sending, yeah.
calling?
Yeah, Sending.
Ordering a
I'm gonna
pizza
cast Sending.
America.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
What?
All right, fair enough. Who are you sending? Who are you sending to?
I'm gonna call Resilient.
What?
Oh,
How does this help at all?
I gotta mute myself.
Wait,
Okay.
is Dave frozen? No, he's just shocked.
He's just in shock.
He's just sitting there.
He's just in shock. He's like,
I'm nervous sweating. Do this. Okay.
Guess we don't have to fight each other. Just kidding.
Okay. Alara's gonna take a breath, and then she's going to say, Resilient. I know who you are. I'm going to die. If you've ever cared about me, get my friends and me out of here. Please.
That was your plan? That was your plan?
Did she say that out loud?
Yeah, you can hear, yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear. That's what Lucy's saying. So that was your plan.
and how long are we waiting now?
Well,
Just
yeah.
shut up! Shh! Shh.
So we're either gonna die from Warforges or from Resilient.
I'm getting ready to run.
Put her down first, please.
Elara, high or low for your benefit?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi. Hi.
50.
As your friends begin to bicker around you, suddenly,
No.
everything seems to slow down. The grains of sand that seem to be kicking up slowly stop mid-air. You turn back to look at the Warforged that seem to have stopped. When you hear a voice from behind you,
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
"It's good to see you again, my pupil." As you turn and look, no longer seeing Darius, no longer seeing the white robes with gold inlays in the faceless mask. You look upon your old mentor. He wears reddish auburn robes, long flowing downward to the ground. You see a similar face, yet aged. His head still shaved bald, but now wears a fine, thin goatee that hangs to about his chest. A gray, slightly curled mustache. His eyes still the vibrant orangey amber that you remember them to be, albeit the crow's line that reached toward it seemed new. Everything else is frozen in time all around you. Only the two of you reside in this spot. He gives a smile.
Wow. I didn't expect you to come here. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little bit scared of you. You look like the person that I used to know, but I know now. Also, are you gonna get us out of here? Also, didn't you try and murder Eli? Why?
You know what I always loved about you, Elara?
Mm-hmm.
You were the only student I had that always asked questions. The one that always had a touch of glee behind her.
Yeah.
Truth be told, there are many things that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But perhaps it's because you've only heard one side.
Sorry, I'm looking at the players right now. Okay. Well, tell me, how much time do we have?
Not much.
Okay.
I never meant to cause Eli harm. I looked into Eli's future to see what he would become.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only one way to get him there.
Okay. What's that?
Becoming what he did.
Oh, the Viper. That I know.
The Viper. I've done my best, albeit a little hidden, to tell you as much as I could. What I said back in Boku, I meant. There is something coming, Elara. And there's only one way to ward it off.
What's that?
I think you know.
Well, I wanted to hear you say it.
The silence is approaching. Its minions on this domain push its agenda forward. It will wipe
Okay.
this place out. But yet I'm called the villain.
Okay. Why did you destroy Boku? It's such a beautiful place.
Sadly, when you're put in a position like I've been, the only allies that you can muster are those that don't have the best intentions. I can fix Boku, but there's other matters that are pressing first.
What's that? The silence? When is it coming? How much time do we have?
Laura, I could tell you that would put you in danger here. There is a
Why?
place that's been warded to the east. And so, I give you these two options.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I hate this. Okay. Okay. What, the east or what?
You and your friends join me and come to the east, where I will explain everything. Or I'll put you closer to where you'd like to be. But I will not tell you another thing. I'm sorry.
Pablo's soul staring into me. Oh no. Oh man. Are you sure? Like, okay, what if we go to the east? Can we go back? Can you like get us back? Because Pablo's been trying to get to where he needs to go.
If you wish, I can put you to the monastery.
Yeah, but after, like, can we go talk to you wherever you need to take us, and then go to the monastery after?
That can be arranged.
Okay. Also, there's been a lot of people that have been betraying me recently. So to be honest, like, I don't know who to trust anymore. You know, I'm just wondering, like, are you going to teleport us into like a jail somewhere in the east?
No.
Insight check.
Give me an insight check with advantage.
Oh, is that because of chat?
It is because of chat. They can't see it
Thank you,
because of
chat.
reasons that I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
oh, that's why. Okay, never mind.
Right. I rolled a 15 and my insight is a +4, so 19.
As you take a moment to stare into the old man's face, you see he is very, very tired. but you still see the spark of your mentor.
I'm so sorry as a player, guys. Elara will say, okay, well, let's get out of here. I'd like to talk to you. And I think we need to you need to make things right with the group because they really don't like you. And I don't like that you stabbed Eli. He's very close to me.
I'll do my best to make up for it.
Okay.
And Elara, one last thing. Slowly he walks towards you.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Okay.
Standing face to face almost, although he is just a touch taller than you. Reaching out his two hands. He wraps them around your shoulders. As he pulls you in close, he whispers, "Sorry about Alcor."
Me too. Oh my God, stop it. Me too. I miss him a lot.
He pulls away, and as he does, reaching into the sleeve of one of his robes, he produces a small token. Gold in nature, with what seem to be runes on the outside. Throwing it down on the ground, roughly in the center of where the party is. You watch as it begins to glow and expand a little bit wider, encompassing you and all of your friends. And in a flash of light, you disappear. You open your eyes once more. Brasilian now probably about 15 yards away from you. Looking at your friends, they all have suddenly sprung back to life. As you all look around, you find yourself situated in a beautiful garden. A vast array of colorful flowers and fauna all around you. You've all been here before. As you turn and see a log cabin.
Swamp?
We back on the
The
island.
Matu?
Yeah, is this the other
In
island?
the jungle,
With
his
the ghost
time
children?
mansion.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Bobby.
No.
Oh, okay.
No?
it's the
I'm
ghost
wrong.
children.
Someone give me a history check, please.
My
I don't
goodness.
think that should be me.
I feel like
I
that
got a
should.
plus 4.
I have a +8. I feel like I should. or
Okay,
I
should be you.
That should be Elara.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. 14 + 8. Help, math. 22.
22.
Mhm.
All right.
22. You immediately recognize this as the garden and home of the Grey Wizard.
Oh. Took his place.
Okay. So, okay, everybody. Let's just remain calm.
Do I
I
have
charge
like a
him.
wriggling? Do I have like a
Oh my God,
wriggling
no.
crocodile?
Lucy, no. No. I will
Soon
try and
as
stop
I see
Lucy.
his face, I charge him.
I
Well,
will
he
try
looks
and stop
different right now
Lucy.
to us. He's
It doesn't
resilient.
matter. It doesn't matter. We would
He
know
would
it's
know
him
it.
because she
Okay.
called him.
I will
Yeah.
try and
The call
stop
worked.
Lucy.
I'm gonna have my daggers out
Oh my god.
and be close behind Lucy.
What the hell is going on?
Waiting for
Where
that.
are we?
Avo, can you hand me my shield?
What is this place?
I thought I threw it at you
Okay.
before I went into the.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Are we
Like, Pablo,
is
watch
Lucy
her.
charging? What's happening? What's happening? What are we doing first here?
Lucy begins to charge at Rasilian. And as he does, is there something you'd like to do to try and stop him, Elara?
Yeah, I will just, I don't know, physically try and shove him out of the way or
You
grab
can't
him,
walk. Your
stop him.
ankle's broken.
Well, I'll fucking hobble over to him.
Okay, we're both as strong as a wet noodle. It's fine.
I know, neither of us are strong. It's fine. I'll just throw my weight into it.
Okay. In that case, Elara, give me an athletics check. Lucy, go ahead and make either a dex save or a strength save.
To keep with like the tone of what's going on, I'll do a strength, even though my dex is better, just because he's kind of in a blind rage right now. And I rolled a 7 for a 6.
You do have advantage on your roll.
Damn it.
Okay, then.
I rolled a
Take advantage of it.
14. Yeah, 14.
That is worse.
Fair enough. As you charge towards Elara, jumping in the way, pushing you back, holding you back. You look down.
Wait, just wait. Sorry, go ahead.
By all means, go ahead.
just wait. He has some explaining to do. I know. I
He
had
killed Maxon. You see
What
like
do you-
tears
yeah.
welling up in Lucy's eyes.
What do
I
you
know.
mean, wait? He stabbed me in the heart.
I know. He was explaining all that to me, why it happened. And he just saved us all.
And you believe him?
Yeah.
You don't think he's here to collect?
I don't know.
I mean, either way, we were about to die.
Yeah, we weren't in a good spot. And
We-
we need to find out information. He said that if we came here, he would give us information.
In exchange for what? And I'll look at him. Why do I have a
Lucy beaten
sneaky
up.
feeling? Go ahead, sorry.
Lucy beaten up, spits blood at him, just over Elara's shoulder.
Good call.
All I ask is a minute of your time to hear me out.
Give
After
us one
that-
good reason that we should trust you. One good reason.
We don't need to trust what he says,
Yeah.
but the fact that he did save us this one time, I believe, has earned him 3 minutes.
The truth of the matter is, I could easily take your weapons away from you on the spot right now. All of you are battered, bruised, and worn. I offer a peace offering, or a moment of your time. A truce, if you will, for now.
I'm gonna kick dirt and I'm gonna go back to Ellis, who I believe is still a crocodile.
Change your pack.
Yeah. I kind of look and notice that she is still a crocodile, and I will drop that. And then I will forcefully shove Elara off me, pissed off, and just go walk over by Eli.
I'm gonna pick up Ellis and like hold her. I can only assume.
And then
she's
yeah,
crying.
like I'll walk over to Ellis and be like, "Oh, you looked so cool." Like, just try to get her.
As you try
I'm gonna
and
maneuver myself near Elara.
And Lucy, as you walk over to Ellis, you can see the tears welling up in her eyes. Eli, you feel her shaking.
It's okay, Ellis. I've got you. Everything's okay. I'm here. Everyone's here. Everyone's okay. You don't need to be scared. And I'll kind of just like cradle her and rock her and rub her hair and just try to soothe her and calm her down.
Okay.
Try to calm myself down too, because she can probably see that I'm pissed.
Okay. Brasilian turns his back to you, looking behind, giving a motion towards the lodge. He begins to walk towards the front entrance.
Look, if you guys don't want to go, you can stay here or leave or whatever. I'm gonna go, and
No, I'll
Elara will
go
just
too.
walk.
If he was going to attack us, he would have done it already. We might as well go hear him out. The worst is we'll just get more information, and then I'll.
Or he manipulates us.
Jade,
Probably be staying here.
okay. I was
I'll
just
go.
gonna say maybe don't like murder people.
I don't know. He's turning his back. I don't know. Maybe I should follow him and stay close behind him.
No.
Go
Always.
ahead. You can try.
Are you serious, Shade?
I was
Don't
just
you know when
kidding.
to quit?
Come on. You
God
guys need to
damn
chill.
it.
Where are we? And when
We
did you
need to
get?
chill?
When did
Are
you get
you-
off? When did you get off my shoulder?
When Brazilian, look, I got off your shoulder. Brazilian, stop time, okay? I got off your shoulder then, and I
And where
had
are-
a few.
Yeah.
What? I had a
Where-
few moments with him.
Where are we now?
Where, I don't know. This looks like Gandalf's place.
Who's Gandalf?
Gray. Gray.
Great.
Great.
Who's
Sorry.
Gray.
Sorry.
Who's
Sweet tooth,
Who's
Gray.
Gray? Who's Gray?
He was
That
a
sexy
friend of
guy.
ours. He's very attractive.
He's a silver fox
Alright.
wizard. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You get
He's a friend. So, and we thought he went missing. The last time I spoke with him, we thought something bad had happened to him.
Something bad was happening to him. He said that we were needed in the East.
Mhm.
Yeah, and now we're here. Wait. Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, Brazilian said he was taking us to the east. So, yeah, we're
No,
in the east.
we're outside of Trellis. Gray's
Well-
hut was outside of Trellis.
But it was
Maybe
moved
it's
when we got
moved.
back to it. Remember, it was no longer there.
That's true. That's true. All right.
So let's go and find out what he has to say, and if we don't like it, then we can make just our decision from there.
Yeah, Shade, we're not done talking to you. I'm not done
Seriously.
he's starting talking.
Oh my God.
talking to you. Okay.
Okay, I'll stay outside.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
As you all begin to approach behind Brasilian, as he leads
Lucy, are
the
you
way,
going?
No, Lucy's staying outside also.
I'm gonna hover in like an in-between space by a door, half like listening because I feel like I have to, but also not wanting to be visibly looking like I'm going. Cool.
as you make your way towards the lodge, Brasilian begins to climb the steps as the door opens up. You hear a small boy's voice. Grandpa! As he runs and hugs Brasilian.
Wait.
As the light beams down on top of Brasilian and the child, you see a flicker, almost like a crystal sheen, on the child's arm.
You're raising Muscle Sanchez.
I can't believe we named him that. Such a serious moment.
Yeah, y'all looked at me like I was crazy when y'all named him that.
But yeah, he might not be raising him. If he was raising him, he'd be
You said
father. But he's
grandpa.
grandpa.
Grandparents can still raise kids.
Brasilian
I know, but-
pats the boy's back before
But he-
before leading him inward. He holds the door open and looks back to you all. Those who have decided to move forward enter into the lodge. Looking inside, everything seems in order from the last time that you were once here. A few couches laid out in the living room, with a table in between. A single chair sits at the edge or the end of one of the tables. Priscillian motions to the seats. Please, join me.
I hang out here.
Go and sit.
I'll sit.
I won't sit, but I'll listen.
I'll
Yeah,
stand
same.
very
I'll
still.
go in, but not sit.
As Priscillian makes his way over to his seat, the young boy approaches you, Eli. Who's your friend?
Hey, little man, this is my sister. I don't know if she's in the mood to play, though.
Aw. Kind of hangs his head down and kicks the ground a little bit.
Sorry, pal. I'll look at Ellis to see if she's at all curious, but I would prefer not to let her go right now.
Ellis turns her head, one of her fingers in her mouth, observing the young boy. She doesn't seem scared, more curious than anything else.
I'm afraid he's gonna eat her or something. I'll look at her.
The
Oh,
young
sorry, go ahead.
young boy waves at her with a large smile. I'm Muscles. Ellis gives a little bit of a smile towards him. Do you want to come play?
I'll look at her.
She looks back at you and kind of smiles before wiggling a little bit.
I will so hesitantly, like I do not want to at all. I'll set her down and I'm gonna hold on to her until like the very last second and watch her wherever she is, like a hawk. I'll just say, not out of my sight.
Okay. She turns
Okay.
back towards Muscles. Says, "What's your name?" "I'm Alice." She looks pretty shy. "Alice, have you ever seen magic before? My grandpa's teaching me." She her eyes light up a little bit. As he puts his hands out, cupped.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing there, pal? What's that?
"I'm just gonna make it the fire dance."
You be careful. Fire's dangerous.
"Yeah, I know." And he gives a smile, confident smile toward you.
Okay.
Leaning forward, he gives a little breath in his hands, and as he does, you watch as a small, thin stream of flames exit his mouth and enter into the bowl that he's made with his hands. You watch as the flame starts to flicker and dance around. Alice's eyes kind of beam. A wide smile kind of crosses her face. Priscillian looks towards you, Eli. "They're fine. She's in no harm here."
Yeah, forgive me if I'm a little hesitant believing the things that come out of your mouth, pal.
"Eli, I understand your hatred towards me. But I can only promise you that I knew it wasn't going to harm you."
Yeah,
When
and
you
what about
saw-
Maxon?
Yeah. Why would you do that to a friend?
You know what you did to Lucy? That was like his father.
What happened to Maxon was a necessary evil.
Oh, pfft. Give me that.
Seem to
Was he a bad
enjoy it.
person? Was Maxon a bad person? Is that what you're going to tell us?
No, but Maxon was headed towards the end of his life. and he had information that I needed. Eli, what you don't understand is there's a war that wages. Before I answer any of your questions, and I promise that I will, I do have a question for you. Have you not thought it odd, all of this time, that so many ask you to retrieve the weapons? Why not leave them where they are? I've been honest with you all in terms of telling you exactly why I needed the weapons. Have they done the same?
To keep them from you. They tell us to get them to keep them from you because of what you're planning to do.
Eli, you can't be that simple.
I have asked that question.
And what answers have they given you, Pavo?
What Eli has said, they said to keep it from you.
Because
Again-
you plan to
Assume-
awaken Thule.
I assume if they were left, if you couldn't get them yourself, it would be best to just leave them where they were at.
Were you not gifted all of the weapons?
We weren't gifted them. We won them.
Fair.
I took mine off a body.
I see it as
Who's
more
dead?
fair. I see it more as the winds of time know that the champions need to return. You all have been selected for one reason or another. But do you really believe someone like me could influence the prime aspects, the six, so much so that they would reawaken the champions? You really think I have that kind of power? They are greater than gods. I'm but a wizard. So why? Why have you been chosen now?
Don't tell us.
I'm sure you've met many along the road who wish my death, purge me from existence entirely. There is one common thread behind all of them. The same thread that I needed to know for the city. I needed to know where its location was.
What city?
Old.
Ibiza.
The city. Why? Why do you need to know where that is?
Because there's someone there that is the reason for the champion's reawakening.
Who?
Their leader, Rhea.
She just banished us.
Interesting. And why was that?
Long story.
Fair.
Oh, we might have done some bad things by accident.
Allegedly.
Perhaps I can tell you a story. A story from long, long ago. The moment that myself, Octavo, Gallia, were thrown from the city.
Mm-hmm.
You see, within Thule's flame, I learned the truth. I learned the truth of those people and why they came here. Yes, Gibble was tasked to create the Mortal Champion's weapon, but it was because of a deal that was made. Gibble was a good man. However, he messed with things that no mere mortal should. You see, in a place known as Eberron, his workshop rested along with some of his assistants. They created something or opened something that I'm not sure, but what was left over was an entity known as the Silence. It wiped out a vast portion of the land, where even to this day I'm sure nothing can grow. Strange creations rose from there. Or so the stories I heard. When I learned of the truth, I confronted Rhea about this. She knew exactly what the Silence was, but all she wanted to do was go home. Gibble was lost to them, confined in some existence between man and deity, locked away within the forge. She had lost her way and wished to find a way to open up whatever portal it was to make them lead them back to their realm. But I knew in doing so that the Silence would come through as well. She needs the keys as much as I do. She needs to reawaken Thule in order to tear that hole open. I'm trying to prevent the Silence from coming in.
Why would she want the Silence? Why does anyone want the
doesn't.
Silence?
She doesn't. She just wants to leave.
This isn't
You
her
said
world,
you only heard
Elara.
stories of the Silence. You haven't actually seen it. How do we know it's real?
Ollie, do you trust Gibble?
I do.
So did I.
If you really want our help in Trellis, why did you seek the Black Knight upon us?
Yeah, why doesn't anyone else trust you? Even Gray didn't trust you last time we talked to him. What'd you do to
where is
him?
Where
Did you
is
take
he?
him out?
Gray is alive.
That's a bare minimum.
Where
You want to
is
tell us
he?
more about that?
He is in a state of status right now.
Were you holding a prisoner? Is that what you're telling me?
What it sounds like.
He was our friend. Why are you doing this?
When you have so many organizations, so many people working against you, all following the word of one woman, that's all where it trickles from. Look back through it all. What's the common denominator? The Guardians. Who run the Guardians? Rhea.
But she has no control over what we do.
Does she not? Are you not running her errands for her right now without even knowing it?
Could say the same that we're doing the same thing for you.
Yeah, why should we trust you over her?
She hasn't tried to kill us. You have. Multiple occasions.
Yeah, you still didn't respond about the Black Knight.
Tancred's dead because of you. Alcor's
Tancred is
dead because
dead.
of you.
Tancred is dead because a vengeful being, the Black Knight. In order to get what I need, I have to make alliances. Or no one else will.
So if you're friends with all the bad guys, when do you stop being a bad guy?
When I make everything right again. I already told you in Boku, I can fix all of this.
Yeah,
By
but
destroying.
You want to go back to the beginning of time and reset everything. That's crazy.
Perhaps I should have been more clear. I don't want to go back to the very beginning. I want to go back to where this saga began. I want to find a
When is
way to stop from Gibble and the Guardians ever coming here. There will be no champions at that point. There will be no need to worry about the silence.
Why can't we just fight the silence?
Because I feel fear. There is not many things that I fear, Elara, but this I do. An entity that can wipe out an entire country in the beat of a heart. You don't think they had warriors there?
What if you reset things and then, I don't know, you don't exist for some reason? Or we don't exist and then it comes back anyways? What if you do it wrong?
Why would
Look what
Gibble and
happened to
his
the
workers create
experiment.
this? Why would
Look
Gibble
what
do
happened.
this? Why create the silence?
Gibble was known as a master smith, one of the greatest in all of the realms for creating weapons. And like any creator, they always try and make something more, something better the next time.
So he overstepped. Kind of
Went
like
too
you.
far. We are all pioneers in our own way. But I will say this, that there are always two sides of a coin, Eli. Which is right and which is wrong, well, depends on how you flip it.
What if
But even
Gibble has
if-
now learned from his mistakes and is trying to make it right? And why should we just wait around for you to make a huge mistake?
Ollie, you've conversed with your god, I'm sure. Or deity, whatever you want to call him now. What did he tell you about me? To immediately smite me down? I doubt it, or I wouldn't be standing here. Sitting here.
He's not a vengeful deity.
Interesting.
Even if we go back to when you want to go back, who's to say it's not all going to happen again? What's the
chances-
plan for preventing it?
Things will change. As they always do. But that path doesn't drive us toward annihilation.
What do you get out of it? We're just supposed to believe you're here trying to save the world? We're supposed to believe you're the good guy after what we've seen from you? What do you get out of it? What's your cut?
My cut is to move on. I'm tired, Eli. I've been running for the last century. Not more. I've been betrayed by those that I trusted. Been called a fool. A villain. How do people perceive you all now? Are you the
Depends on
heroes?
what city.
Good.
Depends on who you ask.
But you feel you've done well. You've done good.
Haven't killed any old men or stabbed any halflings in the heart.
And you tell me there's no innocent blood on your daggers.
Not that I'm aware of.
Really, Eli?
What? Who'd I kill?
You murdered those. Oh my god.
I haven't killed.
You murdered those bandits.
Bandits. Key word.
But we were so much stronger than them. We had a choice not to.
They
And
were
we
threatening a
disposed of
young
them.
girl.
Yeah, but we could have just stopped them. We didn't have to kill them.
Not innocent.
Tell yourself what you will, Eli.
I don't even know how
But
to respond to that.
we hold in our hearts what we believe, what we do is right. I've been
Maxon.
forthcoming and tried to explain as much as I possibly can. There must
Maxon
be
was really important. Is there some way that we can bring him back an Alcor?
Yes. If you let me do what I need to do.
What if we don't? What if we don't?
Then you believe Rhea. And when the time comes, we will all face each other. Regardless of what you decide, I have my task. I know what my purpose is. I know why I do all of this. You say the same?
Hey, did you kill Galia?
No.
Someone did.
Killed her then.
When I
So how
confronted...
How does Thule come into all this by raising him or awakening him?
Each one of the prime dragons held an element within them, sparked by one of the six. Thule was given the properties of the winds of time. Within his flame resides eternity, or an aspect of eternity. By awakening Thule, we can take his power. We can use it.
You want to use
fix
his power
this.
to stop the silence.
Yes.
Is that what you're planning?
Yes.
And Rhea?
Rhea will fight back.
So why
think
would
the
she want
guys-
us to collect the weapons to also?
To keep them out of Vercilion's hands. That's why she wants us collecting them. Right? That's what you're saying.
No.
Oh, I've misunderstood.
Of course she wants to keep them out of my hands as I'm her opponent, but there's only one way that you can open up the gates to Thule's grave.
Yep.
So I ask again, why not leave the weapons where they were?
Because she thinks you're coming for them. That's why she's telling us, well, through other people, we've been told to collect.
And we even caught the Black Knight taking one of them, so verified.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the axe.
Well, yeah, Vercilion's saying that he's also trying to get the weapons. But
Because
he's
he
saying
wants to
that
take the power.
he was saying that Rhea, after we get them, is going to take them for herself.
And use Thule for what? Or just keep him? What's her end game?
Same
She
as
wants to-
mine. To awaken Thule, to use his power, to allow for
Do-
her entire city to return back to Eberron.
Yeah.
That's
So if we do nothing, does the silence still come?
I can understand why none of you trust me. And that's fair. But I'm sure she's asked you to gather the weapons as well.
Yeah.
Yes?
So, in that case, by all means, follow her down her path. If you believe that is what's right, follow her. As I said, this is
Well-
a moment of truce. I do not plan on attacking you here. Not with children here.
Okay.
What do
So
you
you're-
plan on doing with Muscles? Sorry.
Muscles is very special.
Yes, he is. How come he didn't seem to recognize us?
As you can see, he's grown very quickly in a short period of time.
Mhm.
I might have had a hand in that.
Hmm.
You see, he needs to be stronger, larger, more powerful. For he is a potential avatar. I cannot just easily manipulate the power of Thule on my own. But if I
You're
train
gonna
him
shapeshift.
accordingly, he and I can fix this together.
You need us to open the gates.
Yes.
What happens if we don't give you the weapons?
Then you'll give them to Rhea at some point. One way or another.
Or we keep them from both of you.
And then they'll try to take it from us themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you, Resilient.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come and kill us? Are you gonna come and kill me?
There will come a time when I ask for your help. But I will not take them from you. I'll ask you to join me to the tomb. You see, I hold a number of weapons myself. I've been collecting them for a long time. We can work together to destroy this. We can stop Rhea.
Why didn't you tell us sooner? Why did you have to go and do all this stuff?
Because then we wouldn't know him. And now we do.
Why? Just because I called you?
I needed to get you here. All around us, the Guardians watch. Why do you think I've hidden myself away in different forms for centuries? Why would I not just walk around as myself?
I got one last question. What happened to Galia?
Mm-hmm.
Galia was the love of my life. One night, I approached Rhea. I confronted her over all of this. Octavo wouldn't believe me. He said that Rhea has done nothing but be kind to us, taught us so many things. And rightfully so, she had. But when you're gifted something, asked for something, without her wanting anything in return, I found that peculiar. Octavo didn't seem to have the same opinion as I. We fought, and Gallia stepped in the way. I was then attacked by the Denises. They held me down. They put a blade in my chest as well. The next thing I remember was awakening in a box. I don't know how, I don't know why I was reawakened. But I found my way out and headed towards the jungle. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to decide. Oh, sorry.
Quite-
Go ahead.
Quite parched. I think I'll need to hydrate just a touch.
I don't know. Should we trust his drinks here?
We're gonna have to decide which horse to back.
As I said, I'm not asking you to back this horse now. I understand there's more for you to do. All I ask is maybe ask some more questions. Find out the truth for yourselves. And when the time comes, we'll meet at the tomb one way or another, as allies or as enemies. That will be your choice. Elara, if you call to me again, I will respond.
So what does this mean for our allies, Birdie and all them?
I wish them no harm.
Then how about you release the Grey Wizard?
Gray, Quinn, they are adamant, absolutely adamant, to stop me.
Did you do something to Quinn too?
No. Quinn's fine back in Trellis. But Gray and Quinn were always very headstrong. They wanted so badly to defeat Radcliffe. And he wanted nothing more but to defeat them by the end. That was the deal I made with him.
Not a huge fan of your deals, man. Gotta say. Well, I don't know what your plan is for Lucy, because he hates your guts.
Yes, I know. And as much as none of you will believe this, it pains me that one of my ancestors hates me so. But that's something I'll have to live with for now.
Couldn't you have just asked Maxon for the information?
Perhaps.
Or us. We were close to him. There are ways around this.
There was only one way I knew of to break free of the mental blocks that they've put in front. To look back through their pasts. To find that moment that they knew. Maxon was old and he succumbed to the power that it takes to do such a thing.
That's about enough lore for me.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna.
my issue is that you want us to trust you, but everywhere you go, you seem to be enjoying the dark side of what you're doing. You enjoyed yourself at the ball before you destroyed the entire town. I personally have a problem with needless killing.
Do you not enjoy combat, Pavo?
I
Do you not
enjoy
feel
killing.
this? Yeah. But you do feel its thrill.
Competition is one thing. Ending someone's life is a completely different situation.
He's also a shapeshifter and has to be believed in the role that he's playing.
I've only killed monsters.
Well, when you get to my age, when you have the level of knowledge that I have, it's very hard to tell who the monsters are.
Usually it's the ones enjoying themselves when you're taking the life of another.
I hope you see it that way when you're my age. But I've
I'm gonna
kept
go
you
see
here
what
long
Lucy's
enough.
up to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I've made you my offer. I've told you my truths. It's your decision now. Like I said, this is a place of truce. You can leave whenever you wish. He reaches into his robe once again, pulling out another small coin. Token. Again, the same ruins around the ring that Elara had seen earlier. He stands and walks over to Elara before he begins to place it down in your hand. Focus on your magics where you want to go with this. It will take you there.
One-way ticket? I mean, does it only work once?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Muscles! The young boy once again runs over towards Ellis in tow. Muscles, it's time for you to say goodbye to your friend. But Grandpa, I don't want her to go. Maybe she'll return someday. And he looks over to Eli. Your sister? Safe and sound?
Thanks. And then he'll just like hold his hand out for Alice, not taking his eyes off Racilian.
Ellis kind of slightly skips over to you before taking your hand.
You ready to
Pablo's
go?
looking over at Muscles, just hoping that he sees a glimpse of remembrance.
Oh.
Muscles does look at you, sort of with intent and interest. and smiles towards you.
Pablo's trying to pull back a tear.
When doves cry?
Yep. Are you happy here?
With my grandpa? Yeah. We play all the time, and he teaches me all types of fun stuff.
He's a really good teacher.
Yes, he's the best.
Well, thank you for the information you've given us. We will put a lot of thought into it.
I trust you will. And I ask one thing. You might want to ask more questions of those who ask things of you. I've tried my best to be as open to you as possible. I hope the rest do the same. I believe your friends are waiting for you out front, though.
Yeah, well, one of them we're not sure about.
Yeah. So as I stand up, Pablo's gonna just leave another feather on the table, not handing it to anybody, just leave it on the table and start walking out.
Follow.
I'll nod on my way out.
Oh, it's his baby back, baby back, baby back.
As
As you-
I'm leaving, I'll just say, I hope it all works out, and I hope the next time I see you, it's good and not bad for either of us.
Yes. Well, make sure to keep up your studies.
Thanks for the book.
As you
Shall we-
all leave, walking out the door, Pavo, you do take one look back, seeing Muscles now picking up the feather and eyeing it strangely. You all leave the cabin to see Shade and Lucy standing outside.
Jade looks like he's behaving.
He has not killed Lucy yet.
Lucy has his back to the cabin, and he's carving something on a tree with a green dagger.
Ooh.
That's all I'm gonna
Okay.
note.
I'll go over to Lucy first.
Where are we?
You're in the Garden of Grey.
Yeah, but because Gray's cabin moved, like Papa was saying, where are
So-
we in the scheme of things?
We might
Right.
be inside where it's a big open valley.
Or east somewhere.
So
Or east.
So when you enter into Grey's castle,
Yeah.
there is basically like a pocket dimension inside where Grey kept
Okay.
all of his animals.
Okay, got it. All right, understood.
So this is the field, I'm assuming, where we gave up muscle to the other dragon.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Elara, as you leave the lodge, making your way back over to your companions, you take a moment just to take in the air around you. And as much as the strangeness of it all weighs on your shoulders, you feel slightly happy having finally found your mentor that you've been looking for. You, my friend, have received inspiration.
Aw.
Thanks, chat.
Hey, Lucy.
Lucy will look over, kind of just eye you up and down, and then turn back towards the tree. He's not looking at you while he's speaking. I hope your
Can
time
I-
with your old mentor was enlightening.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to talk about. What are you drawing or carving?
He doesn't respond, but do you want to look at it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Very like deeply cut into the tree, like he's been going over it again and again. It just says "Down with the King."
What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I don't know. Who's the king to you, Lucy?
He'll just look back towards the cabin.
He might not be our enemy.
At that point, he shoots you an absolute death glare and is staring right at your pupils.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. I knew you wouldn't like it. I just couldn't think of anything else to do, and I just couldn't handle anyone else dying.
We'll turn his face back to the tree and keep carving. What's the next move?
He gave me this token. We can go wherever we want. It's a one-way ticket though.
Any plans changed?
I think we need to decide who we're fighting for. I'm kind of confused, to be honest. I used to trust everybody, but I don't know, over the last few months, it just feels like everyone has their own motives. Racilian and Aurea. I don't really trust anyone but us.
And even that's a stretch at this point.
She'll look back at Shade and say, yeah, I know.
And he'll look at you and say, yeah. And then he'll walk over to Eli at that point.
Oh, my heart.
Oh. Sorry, the
heart is
player's reaction.
I know, me too.
Ooh, that was spicy. Oh god.
Walking over to Eli, he is just basically going to, and just to save us some time, ask him to elaborate on what was talked about in there. So,
Okay.
just so the player or
Eli-
the character has the same knowledge.
Eli's takeaway is exactly the same. I don't trust anybody.
And he just nods.
None of them.
Agreeatively, which is not a word.
I don't know if I believe a word that dude said. Tried to spin it like he was always the good guy. He's misunderstood. He's this, he's that. He's trying to work for what's best, blah, blah, blah. Same stuff we heard from everybody else.
He's
Who
a
knows?
cold-blooded killer. That's what he is.
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't trust him, but there might be some merit in what he's saying about Rhea.
Well, for now, at least. Still seems like we have the same goal in mind. Collect as
Did
many
say-
weapons as we can.
Yeah. He did
That
say
does
we
seem
might
like
be
the
able to get
only-
Maxim back.
I think he said we could get him back if we let him turn back time, which we don't want to do.
Well, I'm just letting Lucy know what he said.
And if
Maxim,
whatever
Alcor.
everybody is saying is that I'm a direct descendant of one of these champions, then basically I would cease to exist as well.
There's also the issue that when I tried to heal Maxon, it was a bit different than any other death. It appeared like he never existed before, past, present, or future. So can we even be guaranteed that if he turns back time, it'll bring back Maxon?
I don't believe anything. I don't know what to believe. I just want to get Ellis to my mom and dad, and I want to get them somewhere safe.
Where are your mom and dad again?
They're in
Monastery.
the desert.
Oh,
They're
Oh.
heading
They're on their,
towards the.
yeah, they're
heading
headed towards the
towards the
monastery.
okay.
If they
So
make
we'll
it.
probably meet them. I mean, we could just okay. So this token can take us. Elara, walk over. This token can take us anywhere. I guess we could aim for somewhere in the middle of the desert and try and find your parents. But I think the best course of action would be to go to the monastery. But
Possibly my masters will have some more answers for us, seeming that the faction at least, was there during the great battle of Thule. And so they can probably bring some light on what we possibly could be looking towards in the future here. I don't know. I'm completely confused right now. I don't know who to trust. They're the only ones who have never, in my opinion, have steered me wrong. But as we find out more information, who knows if that's going to change.
All right.
All I know is that they protected me until I was of age.
What do we want to do about Shade over here?
we're not going until Shade, I want to say, like, thank you for helping me. But I'm not going to take you with us if you don't agree to listen to us anymore. You and I are really similar in certain ways. This group has talked to me about making decisions that are best for the group and not just what you want in the moment. When you had your mercenary group, you had a mercenary group, right? That you really, really like.
Right.
Okay. If they told you not to kill somebody, would you have done it?
The leader would give us an order and we would follow it.
Okay. So we're your mercenary group now, Shade. Where are they?
No, you have no leader. Everybody has a different opinion. Everybody was...
Call the
Come on.
collective, Shade.
Yeah, I think
Your
everyone's
collective?
opinion here is that you needlessly killed an innocent person, and the only reason I didn't stop or try to attack you is because for some weird reason, after almost getting us killed, you decided to help us as well.
No, the only thing I did is save a whole city from an army of people who would have come to destroy it to get mineral from it, because you couldn't keep your mouth shut about what we did.
In the
They still
process,
know it's
almost
there.
getting us
Ollie,
all
this-
killed.
No, Ollie, this happened because you are unable to keep things to yourself. You kept on giving them information on how to get there and what forces they had. Yes, you might have convinced him for a day not to go there. The mine, I've been there for years. As soon as we would have walked out, they would have gone there and killed those people.
That's what they're gonna do now. What's stopping them?
No one else knows about it. The only person who knew is dead.
Is that who we are now, though? Because that sounds exactly like what Racilian's doing, and we don't like that. Right? We don't kill people.
So you wanted
I thought
me to you wanted me to let him live so they could kill the city. I don't know either. I just in the moment I made the decision. If it was right or wrong, time will tell.
Well,
But
everyone
doing
there knows
nothing
that-
or doing something will have, like, something will happen after this. That was my decision to do, and I'm sorry if you didn't like it.
they are going to find the city. They know that no one goes down there and then comes back up. They're going to put two and two together, realize we came back up, and that there at least is no more monster there to be worried about. And they're going to go down and they're going to find the Golden City anyway. And the only thing that would have stopped them from going in is the information that, yeah, we did find the Golden City, and their boss's only son, or the only son in Qatar, told them not to go there and to contact me, and my father would have contacted us, and there'd be a better chance that the city wouldn't be stormed. And now they will be attacked.
Are you really sure your father would trust you when he put all of this in motion before you were created? This was before you, Ollie. You were created with thought of that city, weren't you?
No, I was created because my father lost his only son at the time and created me in his image. And then the only reason he even let me come to Qatar, he was very hesitant because he didn't want me to get harmed, is because I had a vision from Gibble, who my father serves wholeheartedly. So if Gibble had told me, and if I told him about the mission that Gibble has put upon me and that he should not be attacking the Golden City, my father would listen. If not to me, he would listen to Gibble.
Weren't you made with beryllium, the metal which is from the city?
With the remainder from the city, yes.
Yeah. Wasn't your father kicked out of the city?
My father wasn't. Octavo was.
But your father is unable to reach it again.
Just because he doesn't know where it is located doesn't mean he can't reach it.
So he knew it before, but he doesn't know anymore.
He never knew where it's located.
So where did he get the beryllium from?
It's the remainders from when Octavo was journeying to the city. They had stores. That's where the Presage fortune came from. They had mined it well in the past, and up until now, they didn't really know how to work with it. Only very close members of the Presage family, my father and his ancestors, knew how to work with the Drellium. That's how he has his golden arm. He made that of Drellium, and the remainder of it he made into my heart. The reason why they're looking for it is because it was a very finite resource that they could only get from the Golden City. But
I got a tough. I was just gonna say I got a tough pill for everybody to swallow. We're in a situation now where we're gonna have to make tough decisions, and some people among us have to be willing to make those decisions and get their hands dirty. Shade is obviously one of those people. I think he made a judgment call in a situation where it was really hard to tell what was the right move and what was the wrong move. And he took a risk. I do take issue with the blatancy of it. I mean, maybe we could have brought him around back or something, because he almost got us all killed.
So the problem is not what I did, is how I did it, basically.
That's my problem with it.
All right.
I understand that we need to get our hands dirty sometimes for the greater good. And those calls are going to be hard to make in the moment. Really hard.
That's exactly the conversation we were just having inside the cabin.
Which is why I don't know who to trust.
You trust yourself. You make your judgment and you go with it.
Yeah, well, we got to have a talk about your judgment, I think.
Okay, because if I would have killed him in the back room, that would have been okay.
I would have consulted the group.
And we would be still talking about it.
I don't know. I thought we were in a good place before you broke his neck there. I think we could have been on our way out. I think we need to trust each other, talk to each other, trust each other. That's how we'll know what's right and wrong.
I trusted you guys to survive and get us out of here. We're out.
Listen to us, Shade.
That was close, Shade. I almost dropped that portal like 3 times. That was close. We almost all died.
But you didn't, and we're all here. We'll do better next time.
Look,
no worries.
No, you listen to us next time. Or I'll help Pablo take you out. How's that?
Good.
You listen to us. You're with us or you're against us. But you listen to us.
Start talking with one voice, and then I'll listen. Unless
we had just come to an agreement, and we're in the process of it. You jumped in. You interfered. You crossed the line. Don't let it happen again. I think that's fair.
Sure. Okay, Eli.
With all due respect, if I stay here another second, I'm going to do something stupid. So if we're going somewhere, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's stay.
Papa?
Well,
Are you good with Shade for now?
For now.
Why don't we call
Better
it a
to keep an
last
eye
strike?
on him anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I am not without reason. I understand his motives. I can see two sides of a coin.
Good.
But we all do need, as a group, to start trusting each other and not acting so impulsive on every opportunity that arises.
Good. I think that's fair.
I mean, I do see the value of Shade.
Me
The
too.
question is, do you want to be here?
You're
do
not
you
really
want to help us?
if we to do what? You don't even know what you guys want to do. From what I heard, you have no idea what you want to do.
We know
Well,
something's
what do
coming,
you
and we
wanna
know
do?
that somebody, we have been somewhat chosen to help stop whatever's happening. So we're still trying to figure things out on the way, but there's still a journey to be had. Do you want to be part of that journey? Do you want to work as a unit, or do you always want to work alone?
I've been working as a unit with you guys more than ever.
But anytime there comes to a question of trying to work as a unit, you question it.
I don't question it.
You tend to go on your own quite often.
I don't
wizard?
question
The sheriff?
in Trellis. I
Here?
fought, and you blew a wall in my back, and you left. You really want to go there?
What happened in Trellis you're bringing up?
We fought our way to the tower. As I engaged, a wall of wind was put between me, and you guys exited through the
In the sewers.
in the sewers.
Hey man,
And
me and
who
Papa
was
didn't
on
leave.
the other side of that wall with you?
Yeah,
I went over there to try to make sure that you were able to maintain and get out of there.
and how come I'm the only one in trial here? I'm not the only one who fucks up.
Yeah.
It's
Listen,
true.
guys.
Everyone is impulsive sometimes.
Yeah.
Shade's not the only one. It just happens that a lot of times Shade's impulsive actions are far more intense than, say,
No.
Elara's or Lucy's when they decide to just do something different. But sometimes you need to make that game time decision.
Yeah.
But sometimes, Shade, you need to go a little bit along with what we're doing, because I feel like in this last instance, we were really onto something. And I felt like we were all chatting and our thing was gonna work. And it was like right when it was gonna work, you were kind of like, nah, I don't care that their idea is gonna work. I'm just gonna
No.
do my own thing.
I just don't trust people we talk to. This guy would have lied to us just to get us off of his hair. And
It's
for the
possible. But then we
and
would
for-
have dealt with that consequence, Shade. And that would have been our collective mistake. Our decisions are our decisions.
And as for the sheriff, he told me he was going to kill me here and there. I'm not taking that. I'm sorry.
Well, we won't talk about the sheriff.
Oh, we're not talking about the sheriff.
Maybe
Okay.
another time. We'll rehash that trauma.
Well, I brought it up.
See,
Pablo.
even when we have a discussion, we cannot agree on the topic at hand. We got a lot of
Because
work
I
to
want to
do.
get moving. I've got a kid here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very responsible to take your family with you on the adventure trip. Good job.
Okay, Shade. We didn't choose this. Let's not make this more than it has to be right now.
I'm just telling you my side of the story. If you don't like it, don't come all at me at the same time. You guys
just
expecting
had
me
your
not to
back,
defend
dude.
myself? Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that I have also a side of the story I need to tell. Okay. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Wherever that is,
Well, I'm
we're
waiting
doing
for
whatever
Pablo's
we need to
okay,
do.
because we're going to his monastery.
So,
Pava, you just let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Okay, I'll use the coin. or the medallion or whatever you want to call it.
Throwing the medallion down on the ground. Party circles around as a tense moment of silence rests over top of all of you. Elara, as you focus your magic energies, focusing on where you want to be taken, I need you to go ahead and roll an Arcana check for me with advantage.
Okay. Oh, no. All
But
right.
you've
Back
never
to the
been there.
mines.
Yeah.
Back to the mines. Oh god.
Oh, okay. Was advantage from chat?
Yes.
So I need to let chat know that my first roll was a 5, and my second one was a nat 20.
Wow.
So that's 28 with my
That saves
Arcana.
the day once again.
All right. As the ring begins to glow just at the edges of your feet, you watch as it pulsates on the ground, eagerly awaiting for you to step inside.
I step inside.
Same.
Inside.
Okay. As you all step forward into... Whoops, I hit my mic. As you all step forward into the teleportation circle, Elara, just as your foot crosses through the threshold, a vision passes by your eyes. And that's where we're going to take a short break.
Tensions are high.
Guys.
What are we talking about? It's one big happy family.
Woo! Holy moly, that was tense.
It's a good thing we all love each other behind the scenes.
I know.
Right. So with that said, everyone, we are going to take a quick bio break. As always, we will take a couple questions after chat, but we are going to limit them to just a few this time because we're got a lot to take care of so far. As always, we will be giving our first round of giveaways after the break. So make sure, if you haven't already, use the command roll. Make sure you're following to be eligible to win. With that said, guys, go get your apple juices. Go get your orange juices. Go get your beer juices. Why not? We'll be back right after this short break. Stay tuned. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for sticking around for the most part. We do have a couple questions that came up in chat, so we'll go through those as quickly as possible. First and foremost, we have our lovely friend Faye, aka Mendari. Dave, who gave you the idea for the episode title? Seems cool. Gee, I wonder, Faye. Really makes me wonder where I got that idea from. Also, if anyone can in chat, a quick shout out for Mendari. She is a fellow DM, a fellow world builder. Her and I are working on a few projects together. So if you're not already, go show her some love because she is super awesome.
He's the best.
Eli, whose motives are more sus now, Rhea or Ross?
She stepped away for a second.
Oh,
There she is.
They both hella sus. I don't trust either of them. I don't trust anyone.
Fair enough. Next one, Dave. You didn't prepare the sending episode, did you? If not, then that was a masterpiece of improvisation. The chat was frozen half the time. So I had no idea who the hell she was going to cast sending to, and I thought at first it was the dumbest thing that she could do because I knew how many spell shot slots she had left. I had elements of this already kind of thought out in my head, just in terms of where I want to go with it. They got there a hell of a lot faster than what I thought they were going to, but pretty much everything else was kind of just improvised. So yeah, that's the answer. Ollie, does this info make you feel any different about Gibble?
No, it should, but a George Michael song, a very popular one, plays in his head. He's just got to have faith. So no, he it maybe like wavered for a second, and he's like, no, he's very sturdy in his faith. So it's gonna take a lot more than that to convince him Gibble's a bad guy.
Fair enough.
Or
fair enough.
Misguided.
Question for Lucy: to take a breath from the serious note, how does it feel now that you made Ollie's portrait like 3 times hotter with aqua stripes? And follow-up question: Ollie, how does it feel to be the trade of the group now?
For my answer, it feels good.
I thought he like misspelled trade, or is a trade like a something like a sexy thing? Like
I think it's hip lingo to say that you're cute.
oh.
We're all
Feels
boomers
good.
here. Don't worry. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and quickly do our giveaway. And Crimson as well, thank you for all the kind words. For those of you who didn't see it within chat, and I'm pretty sure the most of my players didn't, but Crimson said, Dave, I'm not sure how much of that you had prepared ahead of time, but fantastic job on getting the party to really think about their choices, which is something I've been trying to do for months now. So, just give them more options. That's the way I see it.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Which giveaway are we doing?
We are going to do right now. We're going to do the 2 tin 20s. We're going to save the super awesome Nightshade dice to the end of the episode. So we've got these 2 bad boys here. These are really cool. They're from Mithril Armory. They're actually just like little slots that you can put in your wallet at any point in time. And hey, if you're ever at the grocery store, the gas station, anywhere, be careful of it. Oh wait, no, that's not the right thing. You can easily pop out a D20 and roll some initiative if you're surrounded by Karens. So with that said,
Also, if you don't win, you can go to their website and use the code CAREFUL for 10% off anything in their store, because they sell so much stuff. They sell t-shirts. They just got a whole bunch of new t-shirts. You should go check them out. We have it like rotating in our, I don't know where it is, but it's like a little block. Their website's there. Go check them out too. Or you could just buy the tin 20s if you don't win them with their discount code.
and yes, Faye, they put you exactly into real life. You will become the Batwoman of insert where you live here. So with that said, a little bit of a drum roll, please. Why do I keep hitting my mic? I'm sorry. And the first winner of the evening tonight is Shav Hunter 86. I believe he's just joined us recently, so welcome to the Triple family, my friend, and congratulations on your win.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Message us can you send us a whisper on Twitch to Careful Cantrip, and we'll just need your sending details. So send us a whisper on Twitch.
All right, next
Or in
up.
our Discord.
Or in our Discord, if you can do that too. If someone wants to put the Discord link in, you can go in and you can message either me, Raina, or DM Dave, whatever's easier. You should also just join our Discord because it's fun in there.
All right, next up. Drum roll, please.
What? Oh yeah, because there's 2.
There's 2. All
There's
right.
2.
And the winner of the second tin 20 is our friend McBluff. McBluff, congratulations. You are the owner of a beautiful tin 20, my friend. So we'll touch base with you in Discord because I know you're there. So we'll reach out and we'll get all your details, and we'll get that sent off to you post haste.
Yay!
Now we do have our big giveaway that we're going to be doing by the end of the night, the official, non-official Careful Cantrip dice, because I'm saving that honor for myself. I'm sorry, Nightshade, but that one's going to be mine. Anyway, we'll do that very shortly. So stick around, and if you haven't already entered, go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
All right. With that said,
Wait, out of game. Who redeemed the fate card thing? I just want to know.
I think it was Crimson.
Oh,
That was
I think it was
Crimson.
Crimson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crimson.
So
Okay, so if
Crimson.
this goes poorly, I can private message him angry messages then. Okay.
so Elara, as you step into the portal, a vision crosses over your eyes. But before that happens, we all feel really thirsty. Pull out our water pouches. As you cross through over the threshold, the rest of your companions see the lights as they typically do. You, on the other hand, are shocked with a vision of a beautiful blonde woman standing just at the river's edge, a beautiful white robe cascading over top of her, seems to be pouring cups one into the other. She looks up towards you, and as she does, you see a flicker of a third eye that seems to pop up on her forehead. As it does, she spreads out her wings and gives you a smile. You feel comfortable in this moment. It seems as if she's there to help rather than harm. As your vision blurs and returns back to normal, you find yourself standing in the shadow of the mountain. A small village lies up ahead, roughly 200 to 300 paces. As the rest of you look back to Elara, you were surprised to see, resting on her back, are the spread ethereal golden wings. Elara,
Those are new.
until the next fate card is drawn, you now have flight speed of 40 feet.
Oh my god.
My God.
I lose flight. She gains flight.
Don't worry, the
What
canopy
happened.
is thick.
Yeah, the canopy,
For
the
those
canopy will be
canopies,
thick for her. Yeah,
They're a
don't worry.
bitch.
Oh my gosh, the first thing she's gonna do is try to see if she can just hover off the ground.
Okay. As you spread the wings for the first time, instinctively flexing your shoulder blades, kind of looking over top of them, seeing the golden glow, they instinctively start to flap. As you rise off
Oh my
the ground,
gosh.
Lucky.
Pebble! Pebble, look! I don't know how this happened. I must have screwed up the teleportation, but this is great.
I quickly look to make sure I still have mine. They're like swapping mine.
I wouldn't
Oh my
call this a
God.
screw up. This is cool.
This is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Quite the transformation. Which reminds me, and I'll just put my hands up and be like, Gibble, thank you for your power. And then I'll turn back into the trade of the group.
all right. As you look around, seeing up towards the mountain, Pavo, you immediately recognize this town. This small village has been known to you and the other acolytes and brethren of the monastery for as long as you can remember and as long as history tells. You recognize the city name as Vigoth. However, upon inspection, it looks very different from the last time you have seen it. As unlike anything you've ever seen before. All around the village, And from what you can see, the monastery high above in the mountains, a thick layer of snow resides all around it.
Winter.
Strangely enough, outside of the circumference that seems to range to what you would get, best guess, is a diameter of about 1 mile.
So the snow is strictly just in this particular location.
Correct. Everywhere outside, it's still the sunny, warm climate that you're used to within Qatar.
Well, this is odd.
Well, I have wings now, so maybe it's a good thing too.
Would Ellis have ever seen snow before?
No.
Would I? I'm from where she's from. I came recently.
Well,
I
she
guess
was,
not.
yeah, she would have been
Oh, she was in
born
the
here.
city of
It
gold.
was underground.
I'll be like, Alice, check it out. And then I'll pick some up off the ground and I'll throw a snowball and I'm going to throw it right at Shade. Not hard.
This
and
is the
just in
next PvP.
shoulder. Just like in the shoulder, something not hard. Obviously, like egging him because,
Oh,
like,
that
trying to
lasted
break
2
tension.
minutes.
Yeah.
Ellis's
There's a piece
eyes.
of ice inside.
Yeah, make sure there's a rock inside there. Ellis opens her eyes widely as unsure of what this is. She walks over to it, kind of doing her little waddle rather than her walk, and bending over completely at the hip. She reaches over and puts her hand down into the snow. Immediately, she pulls her hands back out. Cold, 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 cold.
Yeah, it's cold.
Cold.
It's cold, but it's worth it. You just got to keep your hands dry after.
Are we still on the
It's water.
outside of the village, or are we kind of like in the middle?
No, you're about 300 or 400 paces away from the, I guess, what you would consider the border of the village.
And looking in the village, do I see the normal commotion of what would be considered the villagers there, or?
Yes. So, looking onward towards the village, you see a number of the villagers. Pretty standard in their attire. They seem very dressed down, like they all kind of brownish tinged clothing, mostly fabric. Many of them have now included some kinds of hides over top of them as blankets and satchels. But there's seems like business as usual for the day there.
As we get to the town, I would like to approach somebody and just, excuse me, how long has this weather been like this in this area?
Approaching you, find an older woman. Very short. Her straggly gray hair kind of reaches down to her neckline, just off the tips of the ends of her shoulders. She spins around and with a kind face gives a big smile. You're a brother of the temple.
A little nod.
Oh, so good to see you all again. Has everything been cleared up at the monastery?
I'm afraid I do not understand what you're talking about. What do
Oh.
you mean, cleared up?
Dear child, the Brotherhood has been frozen for quite some time. We tried to get up there and help them out as best as they could, but they are solid, in place, like statues.
Wait, literally frozen?
Frozen, yes. I like your
Like-
hat.
From. Oh, thank you. From what?
Well, no, we are not exactly sure. However, get too close and there's individuals there that, well, you don't want to cross them, let's just say.
Wait, there's people there keeping people out from trying to help the monks?
Yes.
Who?
I haven't seen them myself, but I do know a few of the city guards that typically have a few drinks around this time over at the tavern. Perhaps they might be able to tell you more.
That's actually a good idea. We should probably go there and ask around, and maybe while we're there, take a nice long rest.
Oh, yeah, my ankle really hurts. Good thing I can fly.
Yeah. What a happy coincidence.
What a fantastic coincidence.
How long has,
the old
Did you say how long it was like this?
Oh, I would say 3 months.
Isn't that how long you've been gone about? Or, well, actually, I don't know how
I
long
really
you've
don't
been
know how
gone,
long we've
Pablo.
But was
No.
When did you leave? Babo, when did you leave?
A while ago. I don't know.
A while. An extended period of time.
Yes.
Okay.
So whoever froze these people, is that why the snow's here? Do you guys never get snow here?
In the winter time, I mean, we are high up in the altitude of the mountains, so snow is
Okay.
common, but not for like this.
So if they're frozen, who's guarding from the beasties?
I don't know. I'm gonna have a hard time just sitting back relaxing while my brothers are in danger.
Well, we gotta know
Okay.
more.
We have to
And
know
we're in
more,
no
and
condition
we,
to fight.
Yeah.
yeah, we need to rest.
And Pablo, they've been frozen for 3 months. 3 months and a day won't make a big difference.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying.
Come on, big guy.
Yeah.
I'll give him a thumb.
I'm
Go.
reluctantly agreeing with Shade right now because I'm still mad at him, but
There you go. Give him a big tap on the back.
He loves that, I'm sure.
I
old-
should find some shelter, go to this tavern, rest up, and then make this our first priority in the morning.
Go.
I'm going to just make a note that I will hover myself all the way there.
I'm gonna throw a snowball at Elara.
I will attempt to dodge.
All right, Trix, go ahead and make a ranged attack for me then.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you're probably not proficient with snowballs, so just go ahead and roll a d20 and add your dexterity modifier to it.
Oh, okay. So that's 13.
And you do have advantage, so there's that as well.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, no. Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. Let's see. So that's 14.
That
14.
will hit. That will hit with my new armor class that was screwed up because I got hit by a truck. So, yep.
All right. So as the Elara, as you kind of hover by, you feel a cold, light punch in the back as you kind of topple a little bit forward, even though still hovering. Trix, you feel a little bit of a slap on the back of your neck, and as you turn around, the old lady is looking at you, scowling. You shouldn't throw things at angels, young lady.
Angels, please.
I never.
Elara
As
just-
she turns and walks away.
Lara will
Like the
just
old
give a
lady
wink
from
to Trix.
She's gonna- No, I've never met you before in my life. So long ago.
Before we go in, or like as they go in, I want Eli to just kind of like stay outside playing with his sister so she can like feel like a kid again after the trauma.
Oh yeah, she's been kind of bouncing around the entire time, kind of jumping into the snow as it goes up to almost halfway up her calf, and she keeps smiling, trying to keep her feet out of the snow. going code, 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 code. Lucy, as you kind of look onwards, you get a little bit of smile as you watch kind of the innocence of a child. But the cold has just run amok with you, my friend. Your nose starts running as you feel a sneeze coming on.
I know I spoke too soon on break.
I'm gonna have some snopsicles.
Hopefully that's all that happens.
That is a 98.
98. Where is what my
Holy
math-
crap.
Is that
That's a high one.
Is that the feast again?
I don't know. The feast is up
No,
there, I
no.
think.
Yeah.
The
I think
higher
we might have
numbers.
98, you said?
98. Oh, and I gotta roll a d20. For 14, which means I need to roll another d100. Don't wait for me.
Okay. So as
Go
you let out a sneeze, a very large one that kind of makes you hunch over a little bit. You close your eyes and let this bellow outward, and as you do, images flash before your eyes. You find yourself seeing a very different mountain. A vastly large mountain, completely covered in snow. However, you don't see it from the ground. You see it from the sky. As you bring your head back up, opening your eyes again, the images are gone.
Okay. Not sure what that means.
Something's there. Something's there. I feel like it's like a clue or something. Like if you find that mountain in real life, well, not in real life, but in this life.
In our real estate lives.
You mean this isn't real life? Oh.
Okay. I will take a mental picture of that then, and wipe my nose.
Soon tight.
Thank you, Holly.
Bless you.
Appreciate it.
Walking through the village, Pavo leads you towards where he would know where the tavern is. Looking at the buildings all around you, they are very despot. They've not been upkept very well, and they seem to use very cheap materials that you can easily find laying about. This doesn't look like a very rich village in any way, shape, or form. As you continue onward up the pathway, you finally make it to the tavern, one of the larger buildings within this village. It seems to be one of the only buildings that have 2 floors to it, albeit, again, the materials seem very shoddy, more shack-like than something you would typically see in somewhere like Boku.
Would have seen in Boku.
You saw them in Boku.
Now everything's on fire.
We're 5-star compared to Boku right now.
A lot warmer in Boku.
Hey, at least we were responsible for it.
Okay, let's just try to leave this village in one piece.
Try.
Fingers crossed.
No promises.
Avalanche is gonna take it for sure.
Oh God.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Guys, I have a plan.
As you all make your way into the tavern, kind of feel a little bit of an aching in your back. Something that really requires a little bit of a stretch.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, this one's called the Dancing Ladybug right here.
Huh?
Nice,
Uh-huh.
nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you get it all over on this side. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And this one's called the Flying Trouser Snake.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Right. Back to the
Okay.
puns.
What? It's a
That
yoga
was
move,
fast.
okay, guys? Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Get your minds out of the gutter. As you enter into the place, it is very poorly lit. There's only a number of candles that seem to reside on the bar rail, on a few of the tables with some of the patrons. Most of them kind of look up towards you. Some of them not really paying that much attention, turning back to their drinks and their conversations. A few of them nod toward Pavo, a sign of respect. Closer to the bar rail, you can see 3 individuals that have what look like leather hide armor. On their shoulders, a couple areas wrapped around their vital organ areas. Pavo, you would recognize these as just the general town guard. Now, the town guard is not a fighting force in any way. Really, it's just there to protect and uphold the laws. Typically, the Brotherhood is what keeps the village from danger.
I want to approach one of the guards. What is going on at the monastery?
As you do, the bartender kind of gives you a slight nod before the guard turns around. He looks you up and down. Well, brother, we're very happy that you've returned. I assume that you're not from the monastery, as we haven't seen anyone come down from the mountain in quite some time.
I've been away for a while. I've just returned home recently to find this. Can you please fill me in on what has gone on?
Yes, of course. Roughly 3 months ago, we had some travelers come into town. They seemed very interested in the monastery. Believed that there was some type of treasures to be had there. We, of course, told them that was nonsense. There's no treasure there. They didn't seem to believe us. A few days later, they made their way up to the monastery. Then, it started to snow. We went up to the monastery to see what the matter was, and that's when we found your brethren, all frozen in a single spot, their bodies completely covered in ice. We tried to assist, warming them as best that we could, but there's something strange about this ice. Unlike what you see on the mountaintops, well, in the colder seasons. It was then a few of my guardsmen were attacked. The individuals blurred their face, but we could tell by some of their voices. There was a male and a female. They moved as quickly as the Brotherhood does. Almost as if they had trained there themselves. But their markings and their clothes I've never seen before. From that point, none of us have dared go back up there, in fear of losing our lives. I'm sorry if this brings dishonor to our village.
Did you send for help to another village at all?
Yes, we've sent word out, but no one's come back.
And how many attempts have you made up to the monastery? Just the one?
Yes.
How do we know that those two are still there?
I guess we don't. But again, we have so few here. I can't risk any of the lives.
Well, then I need your help. We need room and board for the night, and so that my companions and I can go up to the monastery and figure this out tomorrow.
The bartender
Hi,
speaks up.
I'm Elara. Nice to meet you.
Ah,
Nice to meet you. A curtsy.
Yes.
are you,
Laura,
he
Ollie.
points towards the two of you, related somehow?
We're best friends.
Very good. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you then, Elara. Any friend of our brother here is a friend of this entire village.
I'm so happy that we're all friends. This is all I ever wanted.
I'm his friend too.
They look towards you a little bit and kind of
The spikes on my head kind of go up a little bit, like holding it in, keeping them.
the bartender looks to you all. I'd be happy to supply you all rooms. Of course. There is a minor charge. We have rooms for each of you if you wish. The charge is about silver a week.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I think I have a lot of money.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, no.
No, I was thinking that to myself. Oh,
I'm gonna grab. I will grab a platinum for him.
Oh, okay.
High roller.
As you toss it down on the table,
The
all of their
VIP
eyes
here.
kind of light up and glow for a minute before kind of furrowing their brow, looking back towards you. Seeming very uncommon for one of the Brotherhood to carry around something like a platinum. They had just kind of turned back to their drinks.
What?
I'm gonna-
What?
The bartender puts a set of keys on the bar rail. Stay as long as you'd like. Food and drink are on the house.
I'm so hungry.
Hopefully, this will help make up for some of the absence that the monastery has obviously been occupied with.
Elara, you can use your new wings to get the food and drink. Apparently, it's on top of the house.
No, not like that, Ollie. They just mean it's included. I don't need to go
Oh.
flying around. But I wonder if it's because it's so cold here. Do you guys have ice cream here?
I'm not sure what ice cream is.
I'm afraid,
it-
Elara, they do not.
Is it cream mixed with ice?
Kind of. It's like
Wonders
Milk
what ice cream is.
and yeah. It's like milk that's like creamy, but it's like so cold that you can eat it instead of drink it.
Ah, interesting. I think we can help with something like that. We do
Okay.
have a few goats out back. Their milk is
Oh.
quite creamy if you need me to mix it in with the ice and serve it to you, but
Oh,
it's on the
No,
house,
no.
of course.
no, it doesn't work like that. It's not like ice milk. It's okay. It's okay.
Fair enough.
I'll find it one day.
Keep in mind, Elara, in this area, a little goes a long way. A lot of these luxuries that we are accustomed to at other towns, we will not find here.
Well, we haven't found ice cream anywhere, so I thought.
And this
maybe
was
in
a
the
good place to
outskirts.
look.
I have to ask everywhere, Pablo. If I didn't ask, what if they did have it, and then I didn't ask, and then I would never have ice cream?
Hey, Pavo. I have questions for those guards. Sorry, I'm just gonna move right past that one.
Yes, Eli.
I'm just gonna we'll just say that Eli the whole time has kind of just been like thinking about what the guards said and not really listening to the conversation. Were the travelers that first arrived the same people that they may have seen later on the mountain? Like, was it a man and a woman?
Well, they did say that their voices were blurred, so they didn't see.
No, their faces were blurred. But I'm saying the people who first arrived, the travelers, was it a man and a woman? Is it likely the same people? Maybe
My
we wanna-
companion Eli here has an excellent question. Were they the same?
They could have been, albeit there was a third with them.
What did they look like?
Strange. Like they were not from around here. They had similar features to, and he points at Elara's ears. Except their skin was quite gray and dull.
And there were 3?
Yes. And then the fourth came a little bit
Really
later,
unique.
but he's stayed in town for the most part. Strange fellow, but mostly keeps to himself.
So he's still here in town.
Of course, he's right over there.
Immediately turn and look to wherever he's pointing.
As you look to a table off in the corner, you see a man sitting there, or a male sitting there. He wears a long brown leather overcoat, with a hat that resides on his head, very similar to the ones that you saw in Dumper's outpost, except a little bit weathered. And it seems to be leather as well. He sits, seemingly enjoying a whiskey.
Wait, go say hi.
Yes, let's pay him a visit and find out what he and his companions were doing here.
Okay. Come on, Pavel. We'll skip over.
I'm gonna
Not
get
skipping.
Ellis.
Hi.
I'm gonna get Ellis some food. I won't go with them. I'm gonna get her some food.
Okay. Elara, as you skip over to the single man seated in the corner, or do you sit down at the table with him?
Just like this. I sit down, hands up. Hi, my name's Elara.
And not so perky, yes, I go over there and just sit down calmly in front of him.
The man with his head bowed puts his glass down on the table before lifting up his hat, giving a little bit of a smirk. Well, I'll be damned. It's good to see you, Sparkles.
What?
This is. I know his voice.
Yeah.
He's from Survivor's Island. He
Who called me
is.
Sparkles?
He's like one of the very first NPCs that we ever met. I feel like is it Rainer or something?
Rainer?
Rainer?
Yeah, Rainer.
Right?
Please help.
Quick, somebody ask Val.
I know who he is.
Yeah. Well, that, my friends,
Hey, what's his name? Damn it.
is a story for another evening.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that was an intense episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
just
I
glad we
laughed,
did
I
that.
cried, I diddled a little bit.
Oh.
And no blood was shed.
As long as you enjoyed
Wow.
yourself.
Piddled. Sorry, that's what I meant. Piddled.
Oh, Bill.
I used the wrong-
I think is what he meant to say.
Right,
Uh,
going through the first couple episodes to find that voice.
yes, out of game, you would all recognize that as Rainer.
Well, not all of
Okay,
us, but
Okay.
Those of you who are around.
Right. Right.
me and Shade have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably gonna kill him in the next
He-
episode.
He looks like a sheriff.
Oh god.
God.
Oh my
honestly
gosh.
I
Oh, no.
honestly thought that it was
More
going to
like
be the sheriff.
A deputy.
It would have been a Minotaur then.
Well, because he corrected himself, but he said male. Because he said man first, and then he said male. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh boy. So I will leave you guys with that, and more so because it's going to make you guys go back and watch the first few episodes of the campaign all over again. So there's that.
Which are on Spotify.
Oh, that's true. They are on Spotify and
All on
YouTube.
Spotify.
All of
Yeah.
the things. All of the things. Yeah.
Have a listen
So,
if you don't like our faces.
yeah.
And we get it. We understand.
That's fine.
But thank you for looking at our dumb faces for once again for the 50th episode. I am glad that we didn't TPK the party in any way, shape, or form. I was worried about it, but apparently Lara had something cooking. Good for her.
We didn't TPK, as if he's.
Oh, just one little thing is going to trigger us. I mean, come on.
I know. It's so easy for us. We
So
have
with
to do the
that,
giveaway.
We do have to do the last giveaway, so I'll go ahead and put those back up on the screen. Oh, I forgot to turn that music off. There we go.
Also, sorry, real quick. Chav Hunter, who won one of the 1020s earlier, was saying that he had already, donated to their Kickstarter, and so he already has one and would like to throw it back in.
All right. Well, Chav Hunter, thank you so much for that. Join us on Discord, and maybe we can work out something else for you instead as the winner.
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of talented people here. We can figure something out for you. So with that said, we'll do our first giveaway for, well, I guess now I'm confused. We'll do the 1020. We'll do the 1020 first.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. So this is the last time to enter, guys. Go ahead and put !roll if you want to be entered into that. So without further ado, we'll.
Oh wait, they can't hear you because there's something upcoming. It's like, uh-oh. It's a hype train, and oh my god, this hype train's fast. It actually caught up to the hype train from earlier that didn't get to toot its horn, and now the two conductors are waving at each other, and the hype train from before is just like, hey, and the other one's like, hey, nice to see you. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Amazing. So with that said, we're going to what? Also, Ollie,
oh my
don't freak me out when you do that. I'm having mic problems today, so you're like, oh, they can't hear you. I'm like, great, my shit is broken again.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
Oh my
I'm gonna test
gosh.
again because someone just threw a lot of bits into the burner, and that steam engine's going crazy. Level 2.
Guys, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It means the absolute world to us. And we're just trying to find ways to make it better for y'all. And but hey, thank you so much for everything you do. We love you all very, very much for it. Thank you. But with that said, we are going to go ahead and do our giveaway for the evening. So our first one, drum roll, please, and thank you.
Oh.
And the epic winner of tonight's 1020, second 1020, is hold on, I forgot to click the button. Darth Vile. Congratulations, Darth Vile. Reach out to us, let us know who you are, where we can find you, and we'll get that sent off to you ASAP. Guys, you guys are crazy. Thank you so much. We absolutely
To congratulate you with
you guys
his
are
own little
insane. Like, we just got to level 2 and you're like, nope, we're going to level 3. This is happening. Or level 4. Okay, well, sure. Thank you so much, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. And then okay, for our final giveaway for the evening, one last drum roll. Again, the dice that you're seeing on screen right now, custom-made resins for all of y'all. One more drum roll, if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you, Nightshade.
Thank you, Nightshade Dice. You're the best.
And the winner of the official, unofficial Careful Cantrip dice is none other than... Let me click the button. B-Town MC, congratulations, my friend. You are the
Oh my
winner of the
God.
lovely dice. Congratulations.
Oh,
He won last
I
week?
won last week.
Oh,
Okay. Do you want
Yeah,
to
you
put them
won this
back?
week. Oh.
Do you want me to put them back in the pot? I can put them back in the pot for you. I just hit the random button.
he says pass on.
He says pass on. What a
Pass
Oh
on.
my
What a good guy.
gosh, this
What a good
community
guy.
is just the
I
best.
I know, right? You guys are
Oh,
absolutely amazing.
Oh, wow.
Back in the pot.
Okay, back in the pot. Drum roll, please.
Hands are getting hurt.
And the winner is...
My boobs vibrate.
This is my favorite. Maybe it's kerosene. Congratulations.
No.
You are the winner.
It's not their name.
No, Kieran.
Congratulations.
Maybe it's
Kieran,
Kieran.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Congratulations. We'll get in touch with you. We'll reach out to you on Discord. And we'll get these lovely, lovely dice sent over to you. So congratulations to all the winners. But
Yay.
before we go, just want to say a quick thank you to Carnal Juravath for all the biddies. B-Town as well. Thank you so much, my friend. Love you very much. Epic Fumbles, so glad to have you here, and thank you so much for your contributions. Crashburn 2 for the gifted community sub. Thank you so much, as well as Cross the Streams. We love you so much. Our #1 fan from the very beginning. Thank you so much for your continued support. Again, B-Town, 1,000 biddies. Buddy, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. Crimson, you are an absolute legend, my friend. Thank you so much. As well, Cross the Streams, Crashburn, GF Powers, all of the wonderful people, all of the wonderful things. Rowdy ATL, Carnal, Val, amazing. Thank you so much for all of the support and all of the love that you throw our way. Thank you. But with that said, before I leave you for the evening, hold on. Let me go back to my. Let me go back here. I have something to remind all of you, for the 50th time. To all of the adventurers out there, whether you're arguing between your party and a great, what you believe is a villain, has a deal to make, whether you're trekking through the ice-capped mountains, looking for the giants that sprawl across the lands, I beg of you, one word of caution. Be careful out there. You can trip. We'll see y'all in the next one, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Oh no, we just got raided. Guys, so sorry.
Just now rated.
Thank you so much. We were actually literally in the midst of wrapping up, but thank you so much for joining us
Wait.
tonight.
Oh my god.
We should
tell you
say
what,
hi to everybody, though.
We'll say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
Everybody.
We,
Come hang out in our Discord.
we will pay it forward. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Karna Sideshow for the raid. Very much appreciated. Hopefully you guys had a great stream. Hey, come join our Discord and tell us all about it. It should be a super fun time. But with that said, I'll do one more. Just because.
Yeah.
Just because.
Yeah.
Just
For our
because.
raiders.
For the Raiders.
For the
Yeah.
Raiders.
For you
that,
guys.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. To all
what
the
they're here for
Raiders
anyway,
out there.
There you go.
To all the Raiders
the
out there.
carnies.
51st time. Yeah, that's exactly right. to all the Raiders out there. Whether you're dropping in on our stream or getting passed over to whoever we raid next, I beg of you all one word of caution. To be careful out there. You can trip. All right. With that said, thank you so much as always, guys, and we will catch you in the very next one. Take care.
Bye.
Raiders, bye, Raiders.
Love you.
Love you.